Welcome back. In the previous part, we saw a strange flying object over on Oryx Canyon. Seemed to have a little girl on it as well, with blue hair. How strange. Almost like she's in the intro. Anyway, let's return to the hotel for the night. End the day's field study and return to the hotel? Yes. Beep, beep. Question mark. That's... Father. Huh? What? I'm terribly sorry for not coming to greet you, Father. Although I'm here but for a short time, I, Jusis, have returned to... Enough. Duke Abrea. As I informed Rufus, you may do as you wish while you're here. However, you will do nothing that brings shame upon myself, nor upon the Abrea name. Please do ever mindful of your position and what you represent. Yes, Father. Would it be too much ask for you to introduce yourself to my classmate? I have no time for pleasantries. Should I require anything of you, you will be contacted. Why did you even drop by? Like, why were you even here? Why did you drop by? Why? There's no need. What was that all about? Fee, that's not really... That was the almighty Duke Abrea, was it? The head of one of the 4 great houses and the man in charge of this entire province. Indeed. And by some strange twist of fate, my father as well. Jusis? I have spoken out of turn. Forget I said that. Today's workload has made me hungry. Shall we return to our rooms, then find something to eat? That sounds good to me. I'm starving. At this point, Rean and the others returned to their rooms for a much-needed shower. Then, after a short rest, they headed to a restaurant in the central plaza for dinner.
The breeze here feels wonderful.
The food was delicious too. Agreed.
I can see why this restaurant is popular with the nobles. Do you dine here often, Jusis?
I do. The chef has been good to me since I was a child. I was practically raised on this food.
How typical. Even in your dining habits, you nobles subsist on unnecessary luxury. Though I can't deny the quality of the food.
It wasn't just tasty, but warm too.
Wow, it actually had been cooked. Alright.
Yes, for a high-class restaurant, the chef seems to have used a lot of very healthy ingredients. Perhaps he's doing his part to ensure Jusis stays in good health.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wonder what Group B is doing right now.
Probably sleeping.
We had this exact same conversation in our group last month too. I'm sure they're hard at work over in St. Ark. Probably nothing to worry about.
It was Celtic for you last month, right? So you were thinking of us on the first night?
Yeah. After dinner, we were wondering how Group B was getting on. Dare I ask?
Well...
I'm sure it was going swimmingly, yes.
Nowhere near as peacefully as now. This is a big improvement.
I kind of figured that much.
We are doing much better this time. That much is true.
Huh? And I'm sure our reports will reflect that.
It is an improvement, though I'm not convinced it's good enough.
It's not?
I'm certain Group B gave their absolute best in all of their tasks today. But can we honestly say the same? That we could have done no better? And I'm referring not just to the monster encounter, but to the handling of our other tasks as well.
We'll just have to try and make up for it in the day we have left. Besides, we had the chance to catch sight of a far bigger problem.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's true.
First, we find out taxes are rising throughout the province. Then, we find out the military is being expanded on a grand scale.
And I'm just thinking back to when I first played through this, it's like, I'm just seeing that and very much being like, Yeah, it's clearly like everything's heading to a point where there's going to be tensions, it's going to lead to a civil war. Clearly. Clearly, that's all that's going on. Now it's like,
Don't even try to tell me the two aren't related.
I have no intention of denying it, but you're only looking at one side of the coin. Exactly how many Oxen tanks do you think the Imperial Army has under their control?
Well,
100 or 2, I'd guess.
Precisely. The Imperial Army's military capabilities are enormous. This nation has one of the most powerful armed forces on the continent.
yes, Liberl are very much aware of that.
And roughly 70% of it is under the Chancellor's control. Tell me, how is the Noble Alliance supposed to counter that?
So you're suggesting that's why the Provincial Army needs to bolster its forces?
Considering both sides are comprised of Erebonians, it all seems so wasteful.
Ah, the travails of youth. How noble and beautiful they are.
It's you.
Baron Blue Blanc, I believe?
Ah, it's such an honor that you would remember a mere baron.
I will say, like, again, having gone through the previous games and learned more about this guy, his voice acting is spot on.
I see you've completed a hard day's work already. How splendid!
That kind of thing.
yes, nearly.
What about you?
Alas, I have yet to be blessed with the fateful encounter I seek. The search for beauty is filled with perils and obstacles, yet that is precisely what makes it all so beautiful.
Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay.
I most certainly will.
I like how blunt that was.
Though it truly is a pity that the clear air of this verdant city should be tinged, if but faintly, with the scent of steel.
Cold steel, cause
I'd heard that Duke Alberea was a man of many interests, but I was unaware he counted playing with fire among them. I don't condemn him for it, though, for only by playing with fire can one create fireworks. Would you not agree, my friends?
I don't like your implications.
And I think this whole line of conversation is a little inappropriate.
Oh, please do pardon me, young lady. I meant no harm, I assure you. I wish you well on your remaining day here. May you reveal to me the beauty I seek by its end. Be it the lovely luster of success or the sad splendor of failure.
Who does he think he is?
Baron Blue Blanc.
This is why I can't stand nobles.
I thought you might say that. If it makes you feel better, though, I have my doubts as to whether that man truly is a noble to begin with.
How dare you?
What?
His behavior seems so exaggerated.
That's an understatement.
Almost as if he's trying to act like the quintessential noble. Like he's fulfilling the stereotype.
Yeah, something about him feels off to me, too.
It's like he's wearing a mask. Oddly.
But what's even stranger is that he knew we only have one day left here.
You're right.
We told him of our field study, but never once did we divulge how long we intended to remain here.
Between him and that silver object, we've been crossing paths with a lot of strange people today.
Well, tomorrow's the end of our stint here. We can't let ourselves get distracted. We still have a lot to do.
That's right. We have to do our group proud.
Exactly.
We should return to the hotel and begin work on our reports then.
I'm still finding this absolutely fascinating going through it a second time because it's just the different perspective is great. It's so good. It's very quiet. too quiet. Did Fee even, change clothes? She's straight up just dressed in her uniform.
Can't get to sleep?
I could ask you the same.
And why were you staring at me constantly to notice that my eyes had opened? Just.
You aren't going to tell me the bed's too hard for you, are you?
I like that he's still got Noi there. Old Blinky there.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Like he brought his favourite plushie to bed with him. Aww.
I've never slept in a bed this high class in my life. Not even back at home.
And yet you're the son of Baron Schwarzer. You've not lived the life one might expect of a boy from a noble family.
Yeah, that's just how my dad is.
I remember last year at this point. Very much me and Sarah going off to Cape Cod. Well, Nantucket. But the hotel we stayed there had a king-size bed. It was basically like we both had a double bed each, but we were both on the same bed. It was amazing. So huge, so soft, so lovely.
A lord should live like his people, not above them. That's how he always put it.
There was a lot of room to do a lot of things.
I see. It sounds as though you have a good family.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my upbringing.
Aren't you going to ask? I assumed you'd be curious about that brief exchange with my father earlier.
I wasn't really sure you'd want me to bring that up.
I mean, I'm more concerned about, why did he stop by the hotel? Was he just checking in on Jusis?
You obviously get along really well with your brother, but I didn't get that same sense with the Duke. Has he always been like that?
Like, very much coming up and being like, make sure you watch what you're doing, Jusis, and then leaves. Was that his entire purpose? If so, it just makes him more of a dick, doesn't it?
As far back as I can remember. I suppose he just has little respect for a son born to a commoner.
Dun dun dun.
What?
My brother and I have different mothers. He was born of my father's legal wife, a noble who still lives to this day. My own mother, however, was a commoner, and she passed away 8 years ago. In other words, I am his bastard son.
I had no idea. So, was that chef we met earlier?
He's my uncle, on my mother's side. Perhaps that's why he's always been so good to me. Or perhaps he's simply compelled to treat me as I deserve to be treated, being the son of the Duke.
No, that can't be. I don't blame you for being a little cynical, but there's no need to be quite so hard on yourself.
I suppose you're right.
I'm sure you have your differences, but you do get along with your brother, right?
You could say that. He's treated me well ever since I was taken in 8 years ago. He was the one who taught me my swordsmanship, and who trained me in the ways of court etiquette.
I knew it.
Pardon?
There's just something honest, I guess you could say, about the way you fight. It shows that whoever taught you was someone you really trusted. When we first met him this afternoon, I had a hunch he might have been the one. What's wrong?
Nothing at all. You just keep reminding me how unlike a noble you truly are.
I get that a lot.
Is your injury from this afternoon on the mend?
What injury? Oh, yeah.
It's fine, honestly. There's no pain, and the wound's closed up like it was never there. I'll have to be sure to thank Emma's grandmother for her help someday.
Yes. Yes, you will.
That's good to hear. Still, from where I stand, you are something of a danger to yourself.
I am?
On the day of the entrance ceremony, when the trapdoor opened beneath us, you acted instantly to protect Elisa. There wasn't even a moment's hesitation.
Ah.
In most cases, one would reflexively act to protect himself. It's part of man's natural survival instinct. Yet you put another before yourself, not even pausing to question the validity of that decision. and you did exactly the same thing with us today. I'm sure most people would see that as an act of selflessness and sing your praises for it. But to me, it comes across as abnormal, perhaps even twisted.
I don't know how to respond to that. I wasn't expecting you to see through me quite so clearly.
Well, I owed you as much for having seen through me first. Still, the point stands. You need to be more cognizant of the effects your actions have on those around you. If not for your health, then for your reputation. That selflessness of yours can just as easily be perceived as arrogance, after all.
I know it can, and you're not the first person to tell me that. What's the point in saving others if you can't spare even a moment to save yourself? That's what my old master always used to say to me.
After I spent some time with Annalise.
Was it now? I suppose we both have some things we need to work through.
Yeah, but for now, we need to get a good night's sleep.
And so does Blinky there, because she's clearly wide awake as well.
If we stay up too late tonight, we're going to be dead to the world tomorrow, and that wouldn't be fair to the others.
I agree, it wouldn't be fair. To the girls, at least. I'd hate to be so tired as to limit my potential.
Hear, hear. Good night, Jusis.
Pleasant dreams.
Good night, Noi. Maybe I should have taken off my glasses when I went to bed. And you could potentially crush them, right? It's the name of the game, everyone. Come on. Oh, hello. Did I get anything?
Keep up the good work.
I suppose. Oh. I thought it was another new game. Field study day 2. It's a new day, everyone. Sunday. Here is the envelope Lord Rufus entrusted to me. Please take it and study its contents well. Thank you. Much appreciated. If you'll excuse me then, should you require anything further, please do not hesitate to let me know. Alright, let's see what my brother's given us for today. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious. Field study day 2, assigned tasks. North Kreutzen Highway monster required. We have received word that a dangerous monster roams the North Kreutzen Highway. It's bad news for our hotel, so I may ask someone to please take care of it. Monster Venus Mantrap. Oh no, it's a mantrap. Location: the stone bridge leading towards Celtic on the North Kreutzen Highway. Alright, and the bite of nostalgia. I'd like to request someone's help in gathering a number of ingredients. We need to make a particularly nostalgic dish. For more details, come find me at Sorcerre, a restaurant in the Central Plaza. Another well-balanced assortment. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Rufus had predicted what happened yesterday from the very start. You're saying he intended to give us a first-hand look at the problems between the nobles and the commoners. If that's true, I'm impressed. Its reputation is well earned. Sure does seem that way. I believe that's enough talk about my brother. We have only one day left before we must depart on our return voyage to Trista. We should set out as...
Jusis Alberea.
What is it, Machius Regnitz?
I will accept no more failures. Today, we will form a combat link.
What?
As much as I may dislike you, I'm ashamed that we were unable to do what every other member of our class has accomplished. Today's monster extermination request seems as good a chance as any to make up for yesterday's failure. What did you say?
You really are simple-minded, aren't you? I suppose you overheard our conversation last night and feel some kind of affinity toward me now?
Nonsense! I did no such thing!
Careful, you almost hit Fee in the face.
I was fast asleep while you yammered on about your family and Rean and...
Machius.
That's pretty conclusive.
Very well. I accept. I'll be happy to show you what a proper combat link looks like.
We'll see about that.
This is what I like. It's like their competitiveness has turned into like a friendly rivalry. Just like, yeah.
Fortunately, I have more than enough generosity of spirit to endure being paired with an arrogant noble like you.
That sort of thing, like the insults become friendly jabs.
Maybe today's field study will go more smoothly than yesterday's after all.
Hopefully.
Lord Jusis.
Arno? What brings you here? I would have expected you to be at my father's side.
I'm terribly sorry I could not greet you upon your arrival yesterday. However, I have come today in the capacity of an escort.
An escort? To where? I'm sure you must be aware that I returned to Bereahard purely as part of a field study for my academy work.
But of course, however, His Grace has directly requested that I escort you to the mansion. So I would be most appreciative if you'd accompany me without delay.
Father? He showed no signs of desiring my company when we spoke yesterday.
Yes. How strange.
I am in no position to question or oppose his orders, merely to obey them. I'm sure you understand. Though while I hesitate to speculate, I do wonder if His Grace may feel some regret regarding his demeanor yesterday.
But...
Go with him. We can attempt to form a combat link another time.
We'll be able to handle the morning's tasks just fine on our own. Don't worry about us.
Ha! You've come all the way back to your hometown. It would be a shame not to visit with your family, right?
Agreed.
Are you certain? Very well. I'll return this afternoon. And though I will worry as to how you'll fare without me, I know you'll at least give it your best, for what that's worth.
Of course we will.
All right, let's meet back in the hotel lobby around noon. If something comes up, just leave a message at the front desk.
Understood. Lead the way, Arno.
Gladly, sir.
Indeed.
Please excuse us.
Well, let's get started. We wouldn't want to give Jusis any further reason to worry, now would we?
I would.
Certainly not. Still...
What? What is it? If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all.
She's probably thinking, the worst is over, and it's all thanks to your eavesdropping.
Good boy.
Just stop that! Just stop looking at me like I'm some hapless babe! Rean, you do know I still haven't completely forgiven you for lying, don't you?
Are you still hung up on that?
And Emma, I hope you're ready to score second on our midterms because I'm not about to lose to you again. But don't even think about giving those exams any less than your very best. I intend to best you when you're in top form.
You will?
I like how it's sort of like they've seen through him now and he's like, God damn it, my only thing. No.
And as for you, Fee, I've been wanting to say this for a long time now. Sleeping in class is an affront to our education. You need to start treating classes more seriously. Listen, take proper notes, raise your hand now and then. And stop covering your ears when I'm talking to you.
I can't hear you.
Anyway, we've got a lot to do, so how about we get to it?
Right.
Poor Manga. Again, they've figured out his weak spot, and Jusis temporarily left the party. Alright, let's go see about getting these side quests done, though. Greetings and welcome. Hello, Hammond. We're here to take up your request, but I'd like to thank you for that delicious meal last night first. It was good. Oh, I'm pleased to hear that. Might I ask where Lord Jusis is, though? He was called back to the mansion, I'm afraid. We have plans to meet up with him in the afternoon, however. Is that so? It's too bad Jusis isn't here, considering this request is from his uncle. Anyway, about your request. Ah, yes. As you read, I would like you to gather some ingredients for me. You're all currently free, so I will explain the details of what I need. Take up the request. Yes, we can take it up now. Please go ahead and explain. The request mentions something about making a nostalgic dish. Correct. Said dish isn't on our menu, but it's one that I would like you all to try. I assume it's a rather special dish, then. There's no doubt about how delicious it'll be, if you're making it at least. What kind of dish is it? Perhaps soup is the best way to describe it. I plan on making enough for you all to enjoy, so please look forward to that. How could we not? What is it you need us to gather, then? There are 2 types of ingredients I'd like to ask you to gather for me. The first is globby fat, which can be collected from monsters on the highway. I need 5 of those, to be exact. The other is an herb used by the Septine Church to synthesize medicine called a healing herb. So 5 piles of globby fat and a healing herb. Where do we get the herb from, then? You'll want to speak to Sister Tatiana at Brayheart Cathedral. I'm sure she'll be willing to part with one. Just tell her I sent you. Alright, that sounds easy enough. Shall we start on the task at hand? Yeah, let's head to the cathedral first. Roger. Lloyd. Oh, good day. Is there something you need from me? You must be Sister Tatiana, I assume. Could we trouble you for a healing herb by any chance? Hammond from Sorcerer told us that we'd be able to procure some here. Oh, is that so? I see. Would you mind waiting a bit while I prepare one for you? Here you go. Received healing herb. We appreciate it, sister. This is an ingredient used for making medicine, isn't it? Is it safe to use for food, too? Of course. It's a very healthy ingredient when used for food. The only issue is that it is very bitter, so some inventiveness on the part of the chef is required to hide that. I see. Someone must have some way of doing so, then. I'm kind of interested in how he does it. Likewise. Same here. Oh, thank you again for the help. You're welcome. Hello again. I presume you've collected all the ingredients, then? Yeah, everything's here and accounted for. Here you go. Globby fat. Healing herb. Much obliged. Please make your way over to the table. I'll begin preparing the dish immediately. How was it? I call this dish Deluxe Herb Chowder. It was beyond delicious. I feel a sort of comforting warmth throughout my body after eating it. Wouldn't mind having some of this if I ever caught a cold. Indeed, I must feel like a bowl of this might cure it outright. I'm pleased to hear that. You did mention that this was a rather nostalgic dish. I assume Jusis had it often? That's correct. It was one of his favorite dishes even. To tell you the truth, the one who created this dish was none other than my sister herself. In other words, Lord Jusis's mother. I see. Well, then, would that make you his uncle? Kinda surprising. Oh, so we didn't tell you two about that, did we? My apologies, I was under the impression that you were all aware. Wasn't expecting his mother to be the creator of this dish, though. His mother must have been skilled at cooking if she could think of a dish this delicious. She was indeed. She would even come by to help out here from time to time. First time she made this soup was when Lord Jusis fell ill during his younger years. She went to the church to ask for medicinal herbs, after which she set about inventing a dish that would be both easy for him to digest and enjoyable to eat. No, I fancy some soup now. Tomato soup. It's my favorite soup. Lord Jusis was always at the front of her mind. Really does sound like she cared deeply for him. Like a mother for a son. Wait a minute. And yet he lost her 8 years ago. Sounds like he hasn't had such an easy life after all. Someone's thinking about Jusis. Who might that be? It's certainly not me. I've probably said too much. I was hoping that Lord Jusis would be here to enjoy this too, but at any rate, I'm happy that I could talk to you all about this. We got to learn a bit more about Jusis, so likewise. Well, that brings my request to an end. Thank you all for your help. There's plenty of soup left over, so feel free to take it with you. Oh, lovely. Oh, thank you, sir. This is the least I can do for Lord Jusis's friends. Goodbye, then. I wish you luck with your future endeavors. The bite of nostalgia is complete. Alright, so I'm thinking we need to do the rounds at this point. So we're going to end this part here, pretty much. But I think we should start the rounds over at Aurochs Fort. Because I'm sure I can still leave, yes? Like, it's if I go... No, hello? Who are you? She's got a yellow ribbon, it reminds me of Annalise. It's adorable. It's a tourist, though, she hasn't got a proper name, which is kind of disappointing, So yeah, if I head up here and carry on, we're going to bump into the story request and we'll get that done. The story's going to advance. We do not want that at this point. So, if we head out here, yes, we can head off to... Can I actually fast travel there? You know what they need here? Like a bus service. Over to the fort. That would actually be useful, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, I'll make my way over to the fort in between the parts, and in the next part, we'll start the rounds over at Aurochs Fort. Who knows? We may meet someone we know there. Maybe. Maybe not. Ta-ta for now.